everyone, my name is Dr. Neha Ganwar, and today I have taken a very interesting topic for a quick discussion. The topic is diversity and inclusion. This is a very much important topic in the vertical of human resource management and organizational behavior. So let's quickly go ahead and see what we have for today's discussion. So first thing is, what is diversity? When we are talking about diversity, we mean the differences within a given setting. In the context of the workplace, what are the differences in our workforce? Maybe based out of their attributes, characteristics, their demographic factors, and many more. So, this is not limited to one thing. The diversity can be on variety of things. So let's see that what are these different attributes can be. First is race and ethnicity. So when we are talking about race and ethnicity, we want to understand that what are the backgrounds of our employees, in what capacity our employees are different in terms of their race or their ethnicity. Second is gender diversity, which is very common. So we want to include more women in the workforce, and now we want to include more and more diversified people who identify their gender differently. So LGBTQ inclusion, the third gender identification, all these are the factors which are promoting gender diversity. Then we have age. So we want a diversified age group of employees as in our workforce. We do not look for the employees who are in same age group. This limits the creativity and innovation in the organization. The next is sexual orientation. This also belongs to the LGBTQ community people. Then we have physical abilities and disabilities, inclusion of the people who have who are differently able or who have different physical abilities. Accommodating these employees is also a diversification of your workforce. Religion and belief system. There should not be a specific criteria for selecting people belonging to a specific religion. So religion and belief system is also a diversity. Then we have cultural backgrounds. Here we are looking towards the cultural set of the workforce. Then we have socio-economic status. That is the economic background of our workforce. Again, we need not to restrict our employees. We do not look for the employees who belongs to a certain set of social economic backgrounds. Educational background is very much important. And we see these kind of diversity very frequently because we want to have people from a variety of academic backgrounds. By academic background, we does not mean their educational qualification. We mean their educational exposure, that we should have employees who have exposure from different educational systems. So this is diversity. So when we are saying that we want to hire diversified workforce, which means we want to hire people who are different in these categories which we have just now discussed. So any of these categories, if your workforce is only from one or two categories, which means you are lacking diversity in your organization. Now let's see what is the second terminology means, that is inclusion. So inclusion is the practice of creating an environment in which the individuals which we hired, diversified individuals, how much they feel welcomed, respected and supported. So if you are hiring diversified people but you are not having any kind of environment for their welcome, then the entire process goes wrong. So diversity and inclusion goes hand in hand. That is why whenever a company or an organization start looking for diversity, they need to look for their inclusion as well. The inclusion also involves active participation. So whomsoever you are hiring, it should not be only for the namesake. Their active participation in the workplace is also a must. Then we have equitable access to resources and opportunities. The diversified people, or diversified workforce should have equal rights and access towards the resources and opportunities to grow in the organization. Then the another factor is belonging. Fostering a sense of belongingness for everyone. This is also something very important. Then lastly, we have a supportive culture. Building a culture that supports and help everybody in the organization is a must if you want to improve your inclusion of your diversified workforce. So this is the meaning of diversity and inclusion. Now let's see what type of relationship diversity and inclusion brings in. So diversity refers to the presence of difference, while inclusion is about how those differences are leveraged to create a fair, equitable, healthy, and high performing organization. So you can see that diversity is about what and who, while inclusion is about how. So both the criteria are very much essential if you want to maximize the potential of your employees and if you want to gain the benefits out of diversity and inclusion. Let's look at the importance of having diversified workforce. The first importance is it enhances the creativity and innovation in the organization. If you have workforce from diversified backgrounds, diversified education, diversified age, gender, and their other factors, you will have more enhanced creativity and innovation in the organization. The next is improved decision-making processes. Your decision-making will be more and more fact and figures based. Your diversified workforce bringing their experiences will lead to more robust decision-making processes. Better representation of customers and markets. Because we are going to have a diversified customer base, our diversified employees will also help us to cater the needs of the diversified customers. And we will be able to cater the market needs in a better manner. The next one is enhanced employee satisfaction and retention. The employee satisfaction and retention ratio will be high when the organization is welcoming. They have proper policies and practices set in the place. The next is global competitiveness. Having a diversified workforce provides you an opportunity to stand out in a global presence, and this is going to give you a global competitiveness. This is about the importance and the basic understanding of what is diversity and inclusion. Now let's see that what are the strategies we can include in our organization if we want to foster the inclusivity in the organization. The first is leadership commitment. The leaders of the organization, the strategy makers of the organization should be committed towards inclusion of the diversified workforce. The second is diverse hiring practices. The hiring practices should be very much diversified because that is the only way we can have good employees. Inclusive workplace culture, we need to build the cultural practices which are going to give us inclusion in the workplace. The inclusive workplace practices, the cultural norms, the values and beliefs will make our diversified workforce as a happening workforce. Then training and development, providing adequate training is another important factor. Policies and practices, bringing in the diversity friendly practices are very important and essential for an organization. So these are the strategies related to diversity and inclusion. Now let's see the practical aspect of this entire thing, whatever we have discussed so far. So in the article, McKinsey and Company, Why Diversify Matters, they talked about a lot of interesting factors that what diversity brings in for an organization. And all these important discussions are very much interesting. So let's look ahead in the slides that what they have talked in their document, Why Diversity Matters. So Why Diversity Matters article by McKinsey and Company highlights the significant financial and organizational benefits of diversity in the workplace. So according to their research, the company will get a wider range of benefits if they employ diversity, particularly in gender and ethnicity related work areas. So let's see what are the benefits a company gains as per the research done by McKinsey and Company. First key finding of the an insight from the article is financial performance. Companies in the top quartile for gender diversity are 15% more likely to have financial returns above their industry medians. So we see that how much benefit financially the companies can gain if they are following diversity. Competitive advantage. Diversity is a competitive differentiation that can shift market share towards more diverse companies over time. The third key finding is leadership impact. The presence of diverse leadership teams correlation with better financial performance. The fourth one is board diversity. Companies with diverse boards also see significant financial benefits. Then the fifth key finding of the article is global findings. The research includes data from 366 public companies across various industries and regions. And what the results are showing that consistent pattern of better financial performance associated with higher diversity levels. We also see a finding related to board's benefits. Beyond financial metrics, diverse teams contribute to better problem solving and innovation, reflecting a wider range of perspectives and experiences.